welcome back to the latest installment of my past life as a flight attendant. Today I have another story for you, but I have to give you some backstory before I tell you the story. And just a little precursor, this story actually doesn't take place on the plane. It takes place in a hotel. Because believe it or not, the whole life of a flight attendant is not just on the plane. You stay in hotels every time you have an overnight, and there's stories there too. So today we're going to be talking about haunted hotels specifically. So there's two in particular I want to tell you about and just give you a little bit of the backstory to kind of the folklore or what people say about these hotels. And the first one I want to talk to you about is actually really close to where I currently am in Oregon. It's in Portland, Oregon. It's called the Benson. And that particular hotel I stayed in when I was a new flight attendant with my second airline, because I was not Portland based. I was based out of Seattle at the time. So I stayed at the Benson pretty frequently within about a 4-month period. And I thought it was kind of weird the first time I went there because they gave me a bowl with a betta fish in it. And I was like, oh, a little pet fish, how sweet. Take it to my room. I have my little pet fish for the night, and I thought it was a little weird, but I didn't think much of it until afterwards. I see my crew the next day, and I told them, did you guys get a pet fish too? And they were like, yeah, we all get pet fishes. They're like, to keep the ghosts away. And I'm like, what? They're like, you didn't know? The Benson's haunted. And I didn't know. And by the way, don't Google a haunted hotel while you're at said haunted hotel. Especially don't Google it at night if you want to sleep. Just saying. I've made that mistake before. Anyway, so pretty much the story with the Benson is that if you have your pet fish in your room, you're, safe from ghosts or what have you. But if you look it up, the Benson Hotel is actually supposedly one of the most top haunted hotels in America. So it's got that going for it. It's historical. It was in 1900 that Simon Benson, who was an entrepreneur and a businessman, he decided to take this decrepit, falling apart building and turn it into the glory of what it is today, the Benson. And it is a beautiful, beautiful hotel, and I would highly recommend trying it out, but if you're prepared. So as the story goes, when Simon Benson died, he was always well dressed in a nice suit, and apparently people kept seeing him around the hotel. And so the folklore kind of was that his ghost still had to keep an eye on things and make sure that his hotel was up to snuff still. So that's kind of the story behind that. But he's not the only ghost people see at the Benson. People also see a lady in white roaming the halls. They see a lady in turquoise, and she's sometimes in the mirrors, and then you turn around and there's nobody there. They also see a little boy. He's usually only on the 9th floor, and then like a 3-year-old boy or something around that age. And then Mr. Benson himself is usually seen on the 7th, 9th, or 12th floors. So just a heads up, if you're staying in one of those floors, be aware. He's also been known, when he was living, he was known for not liking the drink. He did not like alcohol. So the reason people are saying this is him is because down at the hotel bar, there's been many, many, many occasions where people are holding a drink and it gets knocked from their hands. And without an explanation, they just have to say, well, Mr. Benson didn't like the drink, so he's knocking drinks out of people's hands through death. Then so the story goes. So that's the Benson Hotel. My only story there is really that I had a pet fish there and I thought it was weird. I never really noticed anything weird about it. I never saw anything. So all that to say is, yeah, sure, you're the most haunted hotel. Okay, so the next place, and I do have a story to go with this place, is the Captain Cook in Anchorage, Alaska. So the Captain Cook and that whole area is known as being haunted. The Captain Cook specifically is known as being the most haunted place in Anchorage. I concur. Anyway, so is Snow City. Snow City is this delightful little cafe that I've been to many times. It's within walking distance of the hotel. And when I mean walking distance, I mean there can be a ton of snow on the ground and below zero, and you can still walk to it. That's how close it is. It's not far away. And so apparently back in 1975, a well-known woman had gotten in a car accident, or a bomb exploded in her car, I believe is what happened at Snow City, not necessarily in Snow City Cafe area, but she had her office was in where the now cafe is. And so people say because of that, they think that she's haunting the cafe and messing with water, kind of making the cooks go awry sometimes. Some people have heard laughter and just different things about that. Again, I've been to Snow City many, many times. Never thought anything was unusual. Just has delicious food. That's all I know. But I actually stayed at the Captain Cook many, many times, though. And the Captain Cook Hotel is one you also might probably not want to be Googling while you're staying there. Just saying. So the story there is that it has many hauntings, many ghosts, supposedly. Specifically, the basement bathroom. So downstairs in the basement bathroom, they had just, of the second tower. So the second tower of the hotel was built. It was just built. And apparently a woman committed suicide in one of the stalls of that bathroom. Now, when that happened, they immediately started noticing weird things going on and eventually, and like ruckus, like causing a problem. And so eventually they ended up bolting the lock to the door of the stall where she committed suicide because they were hoping, let's keep it contained in there. Not to say that it has, but that was what they were hoping to do. And it's really sad, but people really experience a lot of crazy things, from losing their balance to tripping unexpectedly in the same spot in that bathroom, kind of crazy things down in that particular bathroom. But it's not the only place in the hotel that has had some weird things happen. On top of that, some of the guests who come and stay at that hotel don't realize it has a reputation of being haunted, and they'll come down to the front desk and complain and say, I think this hotel's haunted. This is why. A, B, C, D. And the hotel concierge will say, I'm so sorry, but yes, we are a haunted hotel. And here is our ghost book. Would you like to write your story down? So they embrace the fact that they are known to be a haunted hotel. And it's also about a 100-year-old hotel itself. It's an older structure that's been there and has had this reputation for a long time. Now let's get to my story. I was staying in the Captain Cook. It was late at night one night, and mind you, at this point, I didn't know anything about it being haunted. I didn't know. Again, I stay at so many hotels. I've stayed here and I've stayed there. You don't look up all the hotels you stay at unless a crew member has told you, oh, that one's haunted. Then you maybe do. But for this, I didn't realize what people were saying. I didn't know anything about it being haunted. And I'm getting ready for bed. I get into the covers. I'm laying down in bed, ready for sleep. And I'm about to try to fall asleep. And out of nowhere, in the stillness and the quiet of this hotel room, the bedside drawer to my left flings open. And I mean, it flung open loud. And I'm like, look over, and now it's open. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. This was pretty early on in my flight attendant career. And at this point, I'm realizing, oh my goodness, I should probably pray over this room, and we're just gonna walk this room. I started walking around the room, and man, oh man, I prayed over that room. And I was just claiming it for the Lord, and that anything not of God is not welcome to be in that room, because I'm a daughter of the Lord, and I have the authority in Christ Jesus to claim that authority over wherever I'm staying, and that no evil spirits or what have yous there can bother me. And I closed the drawer and didn't open again. And my goodness, such a peace came on me after I did that. And I will say I made a habit of praying over hotel rooms then preemptively when I walked in the room. And only takes once, one crazy experience. And learn your lesson. Anyway, that is what happened to me. Just a short little story, but it changed a lot because you realize that there is a spiritual world out there, and it's not necessarily always friendly. It is, obviously, and you need to take that authority, and if you're a believer in God, you can take that spiritual authority over wherever you're at, and you don't have to be haunted. You don't have to be dealing with the obnoxiousness that other people are dealing with, because you've got the Lord on your side. So be encouraged, and don't look up hotels when you're in them. All right, come back for more stories next week.